Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And for this reading, I'm using a themed deck, and I'm using the Tarot of the Pagan Cats. So I hope you like cats, because there's lots of cats in this deck. Okay, so I'm going to start by just drawing 3 cards. Each card is going to represent a portion of the upcoming week. And my intention here with this reading is just to get a little bit of an idea into, the kinds of energies we can expect this week, and the opportunities and challenges of the week ahead. Okay, so the first card is going to represent Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so we've got a really kind of somber, almost a sorrowful card, and it's the Three of Swords. And there's something about working with this deck. Cards that I find normally difficult to read, it's easier to read with this deck, just because when you look at like the cats and their facial expressions and stuff, it just totally makes me feel this card in a particular way. So normally, the Three of Swords is kind of a sad card. It's about feeling sad about something. You might feel betrayed, like you've been kind of stabbed in the back, or suddenly, seeing things clearly and maybe realizing that up until this point you've been looking at things through rose-colored lenses and things aren't as, sunny as you may have thought them to be. However, when I look at this particular card with the cat and its expression, I feel like this is really about being in a pissy mood. So the beginning of the week, you might find yourself feeling crankier than usual. And this isn't really like a reflection of what's going on in your life. It's not really a response to what's happening so much as it's an internal response. Something's off for you energetically, and you may just be more prone or inclined to be in a really cranky kind of mood where you almost want to be miserable. Like people might try to cheer you up, maybe everything's working out really well in your life, but it doesn't matter. You maybe want to be miserable. And sometimes it's good to just accept that and don't try to fight it. Just accept that you maybe are in a bad mood for a day or two, and then it will pass. It will, you'll be able to move on. Okay, so moving on to Wednesday and Thursday, the middle of the week, we have the sun. Yeah. And just like I said, this mood is going to be temporary. We move right into the sun, which is kind of like the opposite kind of energy to the Three of Swords. So the sun, actually a few things are coming to me right now as I'm looking at the sun. The sun is about enjoyment of life and being able to notice the positive things and notice the things that are meant to be enjoyed. So taking advantages of when you get a few free minutes or a free couple hours to just, sit in the sun, or, rest on your couch and read a book, or, stopping and smelling the flowers. What all those opportunities that present themselves throughout the day or throughout the week, to just kind of slow down, be present, notice things. You can not notice those opportunities, or you can take advantage of them. And I feel like the message here is, slow down a little bit and take advantage of those opportunities. Another thing I'm getting with this card is just, this is such a positive card, and I feel like this has a really positive influence on the week as a whole. So anything, any concerns, any unhappiness, any unpleasantness at the beginning of the week is going to, evaporate by the middle of the week. And that positivity is going to be carried through for the rest of the week. Okay, so the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we've got Queen of Wands. And it's interesting because I'm looking at this card, I'm seeing the older cat and then the younger cat. And I think for some of us, we're going to be in almost like a teacher role this weekend, or not necessarily a teacher role, but a role model. You know, you might be a role model for someone else, and someone else, whether you know it or not, might be watching you closely to see how you do things or how you react to things, because they admire you and they want to see, you know, how you do things, and they feel like they can learn from you. Another way to interpret this card is, you know, when I look at the little black kitten, I think some of us are going to be more like apprentices this weekend. So you might be learning something or learning from someone. So you might meet someone this weekend who you can really learn something from. This could be like a teacher, someone in a similar profession as you, or it could just be like someone you know socially. But whoever it is, you're learning something from them. And it might not be like learning a skill, but it might be like learning a different way of looking at things, or a different way of dealing with things, a different, you know, disposition to the world around you. So yeah, I feel like ultimately the weekend is definitely going to be a time of either learning or teaching or modeling. There seems to be that theme there. Another thing that I'm noticing is that these two cards have sunflowers in them. And I don't think, I'm just going to quickly look through my deck, I don't think there's too many other cards that have sunflowers on them actually, which is interesting. And I know I have some other decks where there's sunflowers in the Queen of Wands card. I think that's kind of a symbol of the Queen of Wands. But that's interesting. Are they? No, they are sunflowers. I was going to say, are they large daisies? They definitely look like sunflowers behind the kitty. So I'm not sure what that means, but to me, sunflowers they're huge. They're almost like larger than life. And they look almost like extraterrestrial. If you've ever looked at one of those like huge sunflowers. And I feel like they're happy flowers. Like they're very, to me, very cheerful, very sunny. You know, that's what they call them, sunflowers. And there's just something very positive about them. There's something, I want to say, extroverted about sunflowers. There's like a really extroverted energy about them, like a yay, here I am kind of energy with sunflowers, which is kind of interesting. I feel like for a lot of us, we're going to be embracing that kind of energy, that, you know, extroverted, here I am, no apologies, outward kind of energy. This is particularly helpful if you are performing this weekend, if you're going to be going to a party or hosting a party, or if you're in this sort of like teaching role. You know, that's a really wonderful energy to connect with and to really embrace. Okay, so I'm going to quickly just scan these cards. There's definitely a really bright, orangey, sunshiny theme to, you know, the middle and the end of the week. Very different from the beginning of the week. And that color orange and yellow, if I'm just going to kind of shift and talk about the chakras for a second, I believe it's now I think it's the third chakra that's like yellow, and I think orange might be the sacral chakra, so the second chakra. And those chakras are about power and about, you know, standing in your power. They're about control issues. And the sacral chakra is about sexuality. And those are some interesting kind of things that maybe for some of us we're going to be exploring or working through some of those issues about, you know, power and how we express power and how we respond to power when other people demonstrate it. So that's just kind of a tangent that I went off on, but that might be something that shows up for you in the week. Another thing I'm noticing, red cushion. So I'm almost out of time, so I'm going to turn it over to you. What do you feel is symbolized by the red cushion? What does that red cushion mean to you? And I also notice the heart's red too. It's almost like a giant pin cushion being stabbed with swords. So I'm going to turn it over to you, and feel free to comment in the comments below on what that red cushion means to you. So my name is Kate. I'm from dailytarotgirl.com, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching my reading, and have a lovely week.